time is it, people? What time is it?
It's Dame time.
Oh, it's Dame time, all right. He has been sensational. The Nuggets host the Trailblazers tonight, and it is Dame time. He's been insane to the point of rewriting record books here. He has scored 293 points over his last 6 games. For context, in the last 20, only James Harden has scored more over a 6-game span. This is the big part. He's averaging nearly 49 points per game, averaging to go along with 10 assists. The first player in NBA history to average 45 and 10 over a 6-game span. Goodness gracious, he's referred to as Logo Lillard because of his range, and the numbers do not lie. He's made 5 threes from at least 33 feet during this 6-game run here, more than any other player has made during the last 2 seasons combined. And Dame has been making other, more normal shots that are still really, really difficult. According to Second Spectrum, 42 of his 49 made threes during the stretch have been contested by the defense, and he's shooting 55% on those attempts. The league average on those is just 35%. Tim Legler, of all people, fully appreciates this because we know what you could do from long range for your career, but he's had a chip on his shoulder for a long time because I don't think he's been appreciated from day one. He's been in the league since 2012. Do you think the people that matter get how good he is?
I don't think so, believe it or not. I still think he's underrated. And I think this stretch, this kind of streak, what you're talking about, historically great.
Yeah.
Maybe the best 6-game stretch you've ever seen a point guard have in the history of this league. Because, Sage, the numbers, it's not just the scoring, right? Guys can get into the zone when they're big-time scorers like he has. It's the generation of offense as well for other people. He's accounting for over 70 points a game in a 6-game stretch between scoring and playmaking and doing it at a really high level. I think only one of those games was the under 50%. And the reason I say still overrated, you're talking about a guy who's one of the best pure shooters in the league.
Yep.
He's one of the best playmakers in the league, and he's also one of the best finishing guards in the league at the rim with his upper body strength. So, look, this is a team that's been to the conference finals, but I think part of it is just, the Blazers. People don't get as excited about them as some of the sexier teams in the league.
Yeah, Portland.
This kind of streak, though, people take notice when you see those kind of eye-popping numbers because in the zone doesn't even do justice to what he is doing right now. Let's see if he can keep it up tonight.
It's never happened before. All right, how about Zion? And the Pelicans are taking on Giannis and the Bucks tonight. It's in New Orleans. How can Zion make the biggest impact against this really good Bucks team? They're trying to get him more involved.
Well, a lot's been made about Alvin Gentry's comments the other night saying, look, it's on Alvin to not get him the ball in a 4-minute stretch in the fourth quarter. Part of it's on Zion Williamson. I mean, part of it in turn, and he's 19 years old, so he doesn't really necessarily know how to exert his will on an NBA locker room, on an NBA roster with other grown men. He's only been out there for 6 games. It's a little bit difficult for him probably to take on that role. But I think what he needs to do, starting with sprint the floor more often. I think there are times when Zion is not the first guy off the floor when he has an opportunity to be. And for me, if Zion Williamson can get ahead of the basketball and get up there, he's almost impossible if he gets an early seal on a wing defender. You can throw it virtually anywhere. He can go catch it. He's so wide and strong to keep guys on his back. That's a part of his game we really haven't seen. So he needs to not defer. Brandon Ingram's had an incredible year. You have Drew Holiday, who's been an all-star. You have guys on your roster, and I get it. You're a 19-year-old rookie, but you are ultimately going to be the franchise.
Yeah.
So you're going to start to see him start to beg for the ball, demand the ball, hold your position, make sure it comes in. You will see more of that, and obviously you're going to see Alvin Gentry mandate that more to these guys. I'm curious to see how that plays out tonight. It's unfortunate for Zion with all this attention right now. You got to play the best team in the league and the best defensive team in the league. So it's going to be difficult for him against the length of the Milwaukee Bucks.
And just his 7th game. Again, give it a month. I can't wait to see. By the way, he played 33 minutes in the Pelicans last game. That's the most so far in his young career. Rookie to talk about his rehab process, his connection with other rookies, and maybe most importantly, the expectations he places on himself.
I did not come to play, I came to dominate.
And what about that block?
Oh, my heavens! Dominate.
All right, Zion, not many people have to go through a rehab process to make their debut. So describe what that was like for you.
The rehab process was horrible. There was a lot of days I just wanted to punch a wall, kick chairs, because I wanted to play, and they were like, no, can't go out there yet. Like when you would feel pain, I'd feel pain in the knee, and I'd get mad, man, that hurt. I don't want to do this anymore. They're like, no, you got to do it. It's a part of the process. To think at a certain point, the only thing people could tell me was, it's gonna pay off. It's gonna pay off, and I kind of got mad because I kept hearing the same thing every day. I'm like, just tell me something else. Like, you can tell me it's gonna be bad. I don't care. Just tell me something else. It sucks. I'm just gonna be honest.
Did you ever consider doing like Ben Simmons and taking an entire season, almost redshirting your first year?
A tiny bit, but not really. I can't wait that long just to play basketball. You know, people ask me about the whole Rookie of the Year thing. If I get it, I get it. If I don't, it's fine. There's other things that I can chase after and, you know, just do stuff with my team.
Oh my heavens, straightaway three.
Absolutely! Got it again! For four! Welcome to the NBA!
Well, your debut was certainly one to watch. Describe what it was like to be out there and the fact that you did play so well.
My game plan was to go out there, just kind of fit in, like, you know, make the right reads and don't mess up. Every time I came out, coach would be like, you gotta give me something. Like, you're not doing anything right now. Fourth quarter, we were down. I was like, all right, I gotta try to do something because I know I'm about to come out. So I just called heat.
And that was the 17 points in basically 3 minutes. Describe that run. What did that feel like on the court?
I haven't felt no feeling like that since March. To be out there, have the whole crowd, like, you know, cheering for me, my teammates on my back, you know, everybody just there supporting me. So it was a great feeling.
We were just able to see you swapping jerseys with Ja Morant. How would you describe what that has been like, being able to share some experiences now with guys that you were just playing college basketball with?
Never in a million years would I would have imagined me and him going 1 and 2, playing against each other on an NBA stage. So when we finally got to swap jerseys, it didn't feel real at first. It's one of those things like, man, we here. We're both here.
How about relationships with other rookies like RJ? Are you still in touch with some of those guys that we grew accustomed to you being close with a year ago?
Oh yeah, you know, I'm always in touch with RJ. That's my brother, I always will be. You know, whenever he has a good game, I'll text him. Whenever I feel like he's not like being himself on the court, I'm like, you don't seem like yourself. You know, I want the killer I saw at Duke next game. With Cam, same thing. Like, I'll watch Cam and sometimes he'll just be cruising. I'm like, no, man. You're a killer, you're a bucket. Don't show the world why you're a bucket, like handle your business.
Give me the biggest challenge that you faced so far this season.
In a weird way, accepting my reality. You know, sometimes I think people try to place expectations on me. I think sometimes I just forget the stage I'm on and what I have to do, how much harder I have to work. I would like look in the mirror like, man, I wonder if they know that I'm 19.
What does it mean to represent that city every time you go out and play?
That means a lot. Because, you know, the fans are loyal. They were there when I wasn't playing, and now they're still there. They show support to everyone. But I keep going back to this. Drew Brees just says it best. If you love the city, we'll love you right back. And I think that's the truest statement I've ever heard.
2 days ago, Zion was really impressive, and the Pelicans lost to the Rockets. He had 21 and 10, and again, it's his second 20 and 10 game in just 6 total games. Tonight, New Orleans hosts the Bucks and Giannis, and here's what head coach Alvin Gentry said at shoot-around.
Zion can't go 4 minutes without touching the basketball, and that's on me. You know, that's something that I've got to make sure that will never happen again. And so, you know, I take responsibility for that. And if we're not going to get it to him and we're not going to execute, then we got to have different people in the game. And that's on me also.
All right, let's get more now from our Pelicans reporter, Andrew Lopez, joining us courtside in New Orleans. All right, we heard Coach say that from Sunday is actually when it was, Andrew. How do they plan to get Zion more involved tonight then?
Well, when Alvin said that on Sunday, he was very emphatic in throwing him the basketball. On Tuesday, just before the game, though, he walked it back a little bit. Here's what Gentry had to tell reporters about 30 minutes ago.
At the end of the day, the Houston game was, it didn't come down to us not getting him the ball. It came down to us turning the ball over almost 30 times, you know, in an NBA game where you're not going to have any opportunity to win the game if you do that. But I do think that when he's out there, he has to have activity, and we have to also be aware of where he is. So it wasn't so much that we're going to try to throw it to him every time down the court, but we have to look at opportunities where we can get him the ball and try to exploit those opportunities.
Now, one of the things that upset Gentry on Sunday was the fact that Zion had a lot of mismatches with the Rockets going with that 6'6" and under lineup. They want him to exploit some of those mismatches. His teammates have talked about trying to exploit those mismatches. And Zion himself needs to be a little bit more assertive in those situations, trying to get to his spots where he wants the ball.
Maria, I'm only 19. It's going to take some time. By the way, the Bucks, their opponent tonight, 9-1 in their last